there's this one term that it literally just boils my water. I get so like frustrated by it whenever I hear it. And that's the term, like, be realistic, or the term delusional. Like, stop being delusional, or be more realistic. Like, what are your actual goals that you think you can achieve? Like, all those limiting sort of terms that people say whenever they ask, oh yeah, well, what are your goals? What do you want to be when you're older? What kind of job do you want? What do you want your life to look like? And then you tell them, and they say, oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Or like, haha, like a little sarcastic remark. I really I can't stand that. And I've had people super close to me in my life, and they've used it, and they don't use it in like a sinister way, or they don't mean ill by it, but because they genuinely want what's best for me, and they have good intentions and everything. But then they say something like that, and then I realize, why certain people are in certain positions. Like, one thing I started to kind of figure out is, don't tell people your goals. No one's going to care about your goals more than you will, and more than you have to. So I more or less have stopped telling people what my goals are. It's not worth saying them just to get a smart remark like that. And what do you really think the best thing someone's going to say is, oh wow, like, you can do it? Like, you already know you can do it. You already, like, mentally know that you can achieve your dreams. That's why they're your dreams. They can ask, like, prying questions, if you will, like, oh, like, okay, you want to be super successful, you want your life to look like this and that, how are you going to get there? Yeah, they can ask, like, prying questions like that, because you should have some sort of idea as to how you're going to get to that point. Like I do. I've always had, some general idea. It's not super specific, like, oh, I'm going to work here for 2 years, and then I'm going to go do this, and then I'm going to go do that. Like, it's not that specific, but you should have a general idea as to, look, this is where I'm at right now. My goal is over there. This is what an outline of that bridge to get from where I'm at now to that goal. This is what it will look like, and this is my plan. It's not a specific and detailed plan, like I was saying, but you should have a general idea as to how you're going to get there. But, you can avoid all of that by just not telling people your goals. And, I don't know the last time I've really actually told someone what my goals are. I'll say one or two things here and there, but no one's going to care about it more than you. Like, do you genuinely think one person in your life cares about your goals more than you do? It's not going to be a girlfriend or your parents. Your parents are going to want what's best for you, of course, but they also don't want you to take risks. They want you to live a safe and comfortable, stressless life. But to get a lot of the things that you want nowadays, you have to go through stress. You have to go through the ups and downs. You have to lie awake at night, wondering, stressed, how you're going to get there. Because those are all the aspects that every single person that has made it has gone through. And that's the stuff that I've started to realize over the years. I've always had high aspirations ever since, I started doing my first side hustles in high school, selling shoes or trading crypto in high school. I've always had extremely high aspirations and goals for myself, and I've always said them to where I would get a remark like, okay, let's be realistic. Like, that's not what I want to hear. I don't even know what I want to hear. Maybe support, sure, but at the end of the day, it just goes back to no one's going to support it as much as you need to. You need to support it more than everyone else. You need to not tell anyone what your goals are, and you just need to buckle down and you need to start doing it. That's what I'm starting to realize. That's what I'm starting to implement is, look, no one's going to understand it like you do. No one's going to understand it. It's in your mind, but whenever you try to vocalize it, it's not going to have the same impact as it does in your mind. They're not going to see the vision. No matter how detailed you get, they're not going to see the vision that you have. So you need to just keep it internal, and you just need to buckle down, and they will start trusting you whenever they start seeing the success. Nowadays, I've taken little risks and they've paid off. And now the people around me, they're starting to, be more relaxed and open to me risking things and me taking, opportunities and building opportunities. Like, they're starting to be all right with that. But before, like 2 years ago, if I would have, started talking about the things that I'm talking about now, everyone around me would have said, let's be smarter, let's be realistic. I've had the closest people to me. I think there's probably, I can count on my hand the amount of people that haven't told me be realistic. And I know, I believe it's only 2 people in my life that have told me be more realistic. And it's not sinister, like I was saying. They want what's best for you. They genuinely do, but they don't know what the best for you is. Only you do. No one knows you like you. Even though your parents, you were raised in their household, you were raised under their, morals, and you went after their, a lot of the times their ideologies, and you have a lot of the same characteristics of them. They don't know you like you know you. So that's just one thing I wish I could tell more people, is don't tell people your goals. Because, even your closest people in your life, they're not going to understand it. And you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to start second guessing yourself, and then you're not going to do the things that you need to do in order to hit those goals. So, people, they'll clap for you whenever you hit the top. You don't need them to clap for you at the bottom. In fact, if they are clapping for you at the bottom, I'm led to believe that you're just not going to have the motivation that you need to get to the top, to get to the goals, to get to the end. You need the rough parts. You need the downs. You need the downs to get to the high points, the highs. It's like, when people have a tattoo of an arrow on them. For the arrow to propel forward, it has to be drawn back. So, for you to be propelled forward, you have to hit drawbacks. You have to hit the low points and the points to where you feel like you're the only one that's on this path. And you just have to be content with that and understand that is the right path. The chapter of no one understands what I'm going through, no one understands the stresses, you have to internalize that. Don't tell people that. Just continue to do it, and you will hit your goals.